বহুদিনের প্রতীক্ষার অবসান। বিজ্ঞাপন বেরিয়ে গিয়েছে, আগামীকাল থেকে ফর্ম ফিল আপ শুরু হচ্ছে। এই মুহূর্তে আর কোনো গভর্নমেন্ট, কোনো সংস্থা কাউকে কোনো ধরনের দোষারোপ বা অভিযোগ না করে একদম নিজের ফুল প্রিপারেশন এতদিন ধরে নিয়েছো, লাস্ট মুহূর্তে এখন চাই নিখুঁত ভাবে মক টেস্ট দিয়ে প্রতিটি চ্যাপ্টারের উপর একটা কমান্ডিং একটা অথরিটি তৈরি করা। এই হলেই আমার একটি চাকরি একদম হাতের আলুতে চলে আসবে। এই অভিষ্ট লক্ষ্যে আমাদের যাত্রা। মক টেস্ট শুরু করেছি আমরা প্রত্যেকটা চ্যাপ্টার ওয়াইজ, যাতে প্রতিটি চ্যাপ্টারের নিখুঁত প্রিপারেশন হয়। টুডেস মক টেস্ট অন দ্য অক্স বাই h.e.bates, ফুল মার্কস 30। ফার্স্ট আমি কোয়েশ্চেন্স বলবো, তারপর অপশনস বলবো এবং তারপরে আনসার বলবো। ইন বিটুইন অফ দেম ইউ শুড give the answer and note down the marks, how many marks you will score. So let's go. First question: the short story The Ox was composed and published in the year of. Options: option A 1939, 1940, option B 1940, 1941, C only 1913, option D 1938. Author: এই দ্য অক্স শর্ট স্টোরিটা কবে কম্পোজড হয় এবং কবে পাবলিশড হয়? রাইট আনসার ইজ অপশন ডেফিনেটলি সি, 1939. That is, the short story was composed in 1939 and it was published in the same year. Now question number 2: the central character of the story is. What is the central character, or who is the chief or protagonist of the story? So let's go. Options: option A Mrs. Thurlow, option B The Ox, option C The Society, option D Hardships and Loneliness. The right answer is the central character of the story, that is the central character with whom the whole story centered around, is none but option A Mrs. Thurlow. Now question number 3: Mrs. Thurlow's Christian in The Ox was. Options: option A Emily, option B Bronte, option C Lily, option D Christina. The right answer is Christian house of Mrs. Thurlow is none but option C Lily. Now question number 4: h.e.bates was of. Options: option A 18th century, option B 19th century, option C 20th century, option D 21st century. The right answer is option C, that is was regarded as the century writer. Now question number 5: what does the bicycle symbolize in the story The Ox? Options: option A the consolation, option B unfailing friend, option C the and the support, option D all of these above. The bicycle in the story The Ox symbolizes option D all of these above. That is, it symbolizes the consolation of Mrs. Thurlow, it symbolizes the unfailing friend of Mrs. Thurlow, and also the future and the support of Mrs. Thurlow. And that's why the right answer is option of these above. Now question number 6: the story of the short story The Ox justified. What does the short story The Ox justify? Answer: emphasizing the difference between Mrs. Thurlow and male ox. Option B disregarding the difference between Mrs. Thurlow and male ox. Option C a female can give service like male. Option D the intimate similarities between male and female. Sorry, the intimate similarities between male and female. The right answer is the story of the short story The Ox justified. Option B, that is, it neglects, it avoids, it disregards the difference between Mrs. Thurlow and a male ox. Now question number 7: Mrs. Thurlow's dwelling place was. That is, where did Mrs. Thurlow live? Options: option A top of a hill, option B beside a small hill, option C amidst a completely green place, option D none of these above. Right answer is Mrs. Thurlow's dwelling place was at the top of a hill. Now question number 8: she knew that nothing could be more serious She knew that not nothing could be more serious here. The word serious, the serious thing is options. Option A, unwilling to return to Mrs. Tharlow's son to her. Option B, her son's education and security. Option C, taking her unfailing companion bicycle. Option D, none of these above. Right answer is definitely option D, none of these above. The serious thing is nothing but her money. Now, question number 9. It was her creed. Here, her creed implies. What does the word creed symbolize? Options. Option A, Mrs. Tharlow's passion for her son's future. Option B, Mrs. Tharlow's passion for her bicycle. Option C, Mrs. Tharlow's passion for her routine work. Option D, Mrs. Tharlow's passion for her saving money. Right answer is option D. The word crit implies Mrs. Tharlow's passion for her saving money. Now, question number 10. What was Mrs. Tharlow's query to Mr. Tharlow in the prison? That is, Mrs. Tharlow met Mr. Tharlow in the prison. What was her first query to Mr. Tharlow? Options. Option A, why he had committed the crime. Option B, why he had stolen her hard-earned money. Option C, how he spent time in the prison. Option D, what he had done with her hard-earned money. Option. Right answer is the first call to Mr. Tharlow was option D. What he had done with her hard-earned money. Now, question number 11. Something terrible had happened. Terrible matter was. What was the terrible matter signified or mentioned in the story? The ox. Options. Option A, the loss of money. Option B, the reluctance of a son's returning. Option C, the puncture of a cycle. Option D, the news of her husband's murder. The right answer is definitely option A, the loss of money. Now, question number 12. The significance of the character, the ox. What is the significance of the title, the ox? Options. Option A. Option A, its inability to communicate with humans. Option B, its reluctance to communicate with humans. Option C, its kindness and innocence. Option D, its strength and power. The significance of the character, the ox, is option D is the correct answer. Its strength and power. Now, question number 13. Mrs. Tharlow is compared to an ox in respect of options. Option A, her tenacity and passivity. Option B, she was looking like an ox. Option C, she carried out her duty as an ox. Option D, she remained like an ox. Right answer is Mrs. Tharlow compared to an ox in respect of her tenacity and passivity. An ox dedicated its life to the service of his master. Here, Mrs. Tharlow, who dedicated her life, is in every minute, every second to the service, to the welfare of her family, her husband, and her sons. At the end of the day, when an ox becomes old, it is normally sold for men to eat. Just like Mrs. Tharlow, at the end of the day, when she was unable to do the service of any human being, she was neglected. She was completely dejected. Her husband, her brother, her relative, and above all, her nearest and dearest one, who was or who were her only concern, that is her sons, also unwilling to go with her, and that's why she was compared with an ox in respect of her tenacity not to defeat under any circumstances and passivity, did not ever complain or grows or angry or any kind of unfavorable atmosphere or circumstances in her life, and that's why she was compared with an ox. Now, question number 14. How old were Mrs. Tharlow's two sons? Options. Option A, 8, 13. Option B, 10, 13. Option C, 9, 13. Option D, 7, 13. Right answer is Mrs. Tharlow's sons were Her younger one is 9 years old and elder one was 13 years old. Now question number 15. Mrs. Tharlo managed to save how many money? Options. Option A, 45 pounds. Option B, 40 pounds. Option C, 55 pounds. Option D, 54 pounds. Mrs. Tharlo managed to save only 54 pounds. Now question number 16. Mrs. Tharlo's routine work for at the poultry home from option A, 4 a.m. to 6 p.m. Option B, 15:30 p.m. to 3 p.m. Option C, 6 p.m. Sorry, 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. Option D, 12 noon to 3 p.m. Our right answer is 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Now question number 17. Mr. Tharlo was a soldier of the options. Option A, First World War. Option B, Civil War. Option C, Mexican American War. Option D, Spanish American War. Right answer is option A, First World War. Now question number 18. The name of the pub where Mr. Tharlo used to go for drinking. The name of the pub. Options. Option A, Old Tavern. Option B, Dante. Option C, The Black Horse. Option D, Double Chicken Please. The pub where Mr. Tharlo used to go regularly went to drink alcohol is option C is the correct answer. The Black Horse. Now question number 9. The lone house of Mrs. Tharlo on the hill symbolizes what does the location of the inhabitants or the dwelling place of Mrs. Tharlo in a lonely place that is the top of a hill? Options. Option A, she lived an isolated life. Option B, her life was completely full of miseries. Option C, she prefers to live away from society. Option D, her life is full of hardship. Here, the lonely life of Mrs. Tharlo on the top of a hill symbolizes option D is the correct answer. Her life is full of hardship. That is, the climbing and down the hill is not the easy task. And the uphill journey, as it difficulties, as it is full of miseries, as it is full of hardships and adverse situation, and that's why the difficulties, the adversities of Mrs. Harlow's life is signified by the location of Mrs. Harlow's house on the top of a hill. Now, question number 20. Mrs. Tharlo took rest at daytime. Mrs. Tharlo worked from 7 past to 7 p.m. and she had only 1 hour to rest. What was the resting time? Options. Option A, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Option B, 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. Option C, 3 to 4 p.m. Option D, 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. Her resting time is option C, 3 to 4 p.m. Now, question number 21. The wall of the house where Mrs. Tharlo's brother lived was painted. Options. Option A, white color. Option B, wooden color. Option C, red color. Option D, blue color. Right answer is the house. The house in which Mrs. Tharlo's brother lived was painted. Option A, white color. Now, question number 22. How did the inmates of our brother's house behave when he is mistakenly printed? That is, printing is mistake. He should be replaced by she. That is the right question. Question is, how did the inmates of her when her brother's house behave when she knocked at their door? Options. Option A, as though she was a burden to them. Option B, as though she was unexpected to them. Option C, as though she was stranger to them. Option D, as though she a grabber to them. Right answer is when she raised her brother's house to bring back her sons. The inmates, that is her brother's wife, her mother, her sons behaved. Option C, they behaved as though she was stranger. She was unfamiliar to them. Now, question number 23. It's about the boys I come. Once again, it's about the boys I come. Who is the speaker here? Options. Option A, Mrs. Tharlo. Option B, Mr. Tharlo. Option C, Mrs. Tharlo's brother. Option D, Mrs. Tharlo's mother. Right answer is definitely option A, Mrs. Tharlo. Now, question 24. What is the object that was not in Mrs. Tharlo's imagination of her son's upbringing in her brother's house? That is, Mrs. Tharlo. Mrs. Tharlo kept her sons to her brother's house for education and for sons' security and, and away from the crying of her husband. And she mentioned some articles or amenities that will be provided to her sons from her brother's house. Which of this option is not mentioned by her? Options. Option A, the electric light. Option B, the car. Option C, the spotless cocoa matting. Option C. So D, financial affluency. The right answer is, she mentioned the electric light, the car, the spotless cocoa matting. And what he did not mention is the option D, financial affluence. So right answer is option D, financial affluency. Now question 25. The name of the police station when Mrs. Tharlo saw Mr. Tharlo. Options. Option A, Stratford Police Station. Option D, Medford Police Station. Option D, Metropolitan Police Station. Option D, the City Police Station. The right answer is Medford Police Station. That is option B is the correct answer. Where Mrs. Tharlo met Mr. Tharlo in a prison, in a police station. The name of the police station is Medford Police Station. Now question 26. What is the news that was absent in the Sunday Still newspaper side by side her story, her photograph, etc.? After the judgment given by the judges, the imprisonment of her husband, the news was published, printed in the different kind of newspapers. She sat down in the evening to read the newspaper. As soon as she opened the newspaper, she saw the news regarding her husband's crime, and the picture was printed on the newspaper. None but Mrs. Tharlo's. She searched every news in the newspaper, but only news was absent. What was the news? Options. Option A, her sons. Option B, her husband's crime. Option C, her husband's cruelty to her. Option D, about the money. The right answer is option D, about the money, because 15 years by her hard work, she saved 54 pounds for her son's future or upbringing or education. That is why her hard-earned money is more important than every news printed in the newspaper. So what news was absent is nothing but option D, about the money. Now question 27. When Mrs. Tharlo returned, she told her boys, "You made up your minds then?" Once again, when Mrs. Tharlo returned, she told her boys, "You made up your minds then?" What boys said to their mother? As soon as her mother said, you my son, made up your minds then." The boys react to their mother. What was the reaction? Options. Option A, they said that they wanted to stop there. Option B, they were reluctant to stay there. Option C, they wanted to keep her from there. This should be their father's crime. Option D, they did not speak any word. যখন তিনি তার সব শেষে হাজবেন্ড জেলে চলে গেল, তার শরীর চলছে না, তার সন্তানদের আনতে গেলেন, তার সন্তানরা কি রিয়াক্ট করেছিলেন? তারা কি বলেছিলেন? তারা তার মামার বাড়িতে থেকে যেতে চায়। 2 নম্বর অপশন, তারা তার মায়ের সঙ্গে যেতে চায় না। অপশন সি, তারা বলেছে তার বাবার ক্রাইম যে এলাকাতে আছে তারা সেখানে যেতে চায় না। নাকি অপশন ডি, দে ডিড নট স্পিক এনি মোর ওয়ার্ড, তার মায়ের এই কথাতে তারা একটি ওয়ার্ড উচ্চারণ করেনি। দিস ইজ দ্য ট্র্যাজিক স্টোরি, দিস ইজ দ্য টার্নিং পয়েন্ট অফ দ্য স্টোরি। দে ডিড নট স্পিক এনি ওয়ার্ড। অপশন ডি ইজ দ্য কারেক্ট আনসার। অনেক কোশ্চেন সেট হবে ঠিক এই এলাকাটা থেকে, এই জায়গাটার টেক্সটটা কিন্তু নিখুঁত ভাবে পড়তে হবে। নাও কোশ্চেন 28. Finally, he was proceeding to her own house. She could hear a sound of. যখন তিনি তার সন্তানদের দ্বারা, তার ভাইয়ের দ্বারা, মায়ের দ্বারা প্রত্যাখ্যাত হয়ে তিনি তার বাড়িতে ফিরছিলেন, তার নিজের বাড়িতে সেই পাহাড়ের উপরে উঠছিলেন, তিনি একটা সাউন্ড শুনছিলেন। হোয়াট ওয়াজ দ্য সাউন্ড? Options. Option A, hissing. Option B, pushing. Option C, blowing. Option D, licking. The right answer is option A, hissing. What was the hissing sound? As soon as she climbing up the top of the hill, she could hear a hissing sound. The pack The back, the back wheel of a cycle puncturing sound. তার পিছনের চাকার হাওয়া চলে গেছে। It signifies তার জীবনের আশা আকাঙ্ক্ষা এখানে পাংচার হয়ে গিয়েছে। So right answer is hissing sound. Now question 29. What was the main theme of the story The Ox? What was the main story? Options. Option A, Mrs. Tharlow's tragic life. Option B, a tragic story of an unprivileged woman. Option C, man's obsession with pain and suffering. Option D, the similarity between human and an animal. The right answer is option C is like a man's obsession with pain and suffering. Now question 30, the last question of this set. Here, mom. There's printing mistake হয়েছে। Blonde হবে না, এটা blood হবে। Once again, here, mom. There's blood. There's blood all over the sink. Here, mom. There's blood all over the sink. Here the speaker or speakers is or are. কে এখানকার বক্তা? Options. Option A, Mrs. Tharlow. Option B, Mrs. Tharlow's mother. Option C, the brother of Mrs. Tharlow. Option D, the two sons of Mrs. Tharlow. Here the correct answer is there is the options. Option is Mrs. Tharlow's sons are the speaker. So this is all about the most important 30 questions of this text. And another most important questions I already searched and recorded. After that, the completing of this course, I will provide the most important questions after 30. If you go through the two mock tests, there will not a single question leave that would set in your question. And next day, that is 18 June 2025, on Wednesday at just 8 p.m. quote to a Nightingale by Tom Kids. এই সঙ্গে আমি বলে রাখছি, গ্রামারের প্রতিটি টপিক অলরেডি আমি বিস্তারিতভাবে এই চ্যানেলে দিয়ে রেখেছি। যারা ডিটেইলড দেখো তারা দেখে নেবে, যারা দেখেছো বা করেছো তারা আমি খুব সংক্ষেপে, অতি সংক্ষেপে, যারা 5টা ক্লাস দিয়েছিলাম, একটি ক্লাসে সমস্ত রুলসগুলো খুব সংক্ষেপে এবং মক টেস্ট দিচ্ছি প্রতি শুক্রবার রাত 8টা। গুড বাই।